This just so happens to be one of my favorite types of products to review, something that actually makes your life easier. Good afternoon, welcome to Turbo Tortoise Tech. If you're new here, I'm Reese of the 4-piece variety Walkie Triple XL. And I have the 16T3E from AOC over here. It's a 15.6-inch IPS monitor for on the go. This monitor currently is running from just this USB Type-C. On the newer variants of that display port, that specific one that it needs, it will run all off of that, and it's got a backup power system. It's very, very cleverly done and put together. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's go through what's in the box. So you obviously get a monitor, we hope, right? You get a very nice Type-C cable, very long and very sturdy. It's got a core that can only be described as made on the hills of granite and diamonds. We have a VESA mount as well for this because, hey, if you've got a portable monitor, you might as well be able to VESA mount it as well. A very, very nice felt carry bag as well for this. And then the screws for the VESA mount as well. And then the obligatory manuals. So a default kind of package for something like this. The idea with this being that this is as thin and light and as small as humanly possible so that you can add it to your laptop effect so that you could do exactly this. Have two 15.6-inch full HD setups on the go. So I think you can see where they're going with this. People that need productivity and designers and people doing spreadsheets and stuff on the go, it's very frustrating when you have to alt-tab between windows and such all the time. Instead, you can have your reference point on the secondary monitor. And like I say, they've made this with an IPS panel. So it's got an sRGB mode in it with a very simple, straightforward OSD, which honestly, if you've seen one screen OSD, you've seen them all, and that's kind of the case, and it's very small. It only comes out the bottom over here. If I just put it on like that, you can see it's absolutely tiny at the bottom over here. So it didn't look great on camera. So I just stopped trying. It was basically the effect. Another big plus with this though is the way that they've done the stand. So it's got a little kickstand like this where it kicks out of the back like that. But then it's got a portrait mode as well. So it's got a dual purpose life. So you can have it portrait next to your screen, which we just love, don't we? And then, like I say, it's got a VESA mount as well. So if you are on the go and you want to just be able to pop it onto that VESA mount when you get to your destination, you will be able to add it to the rest of your setup. So it's very, very nice. So you can basically, you can have two monitors on the go and three when you get to your destination is the idea. And they've basically pulled it off quite nicely. The brightness on this is particularly good. I will say I did film it at 100% brightness. It was actually slightly better than the laptop screen on the Lenovo that we've got. So it is very bright. It will be fine if you're using it in a well-lit environment, like in the middle of an airport at a coffee shop or something. But what I loved about it, was in particular was the colors and the warmth, which you can also see versus the laptop monitor. So this has got some implications for the design people as well. Because it's IPS and because it's got an sRGB mode, you're going to be able to use it with your Adobe Suite products absolutely perfectly as well. So very clever little product setup like this. All of it powered off of this Type-C, as I said. But if we look on the right-hand side, you'll see a secondary input. So if you can't do power on your particular Type-C, you can then just power it with something like a laptop charger and just put a 5-volt, like 3-amp source into it, and then you'll be able to power it on like that. So you can carry a laptop charger or a secondary charger with it. But I think in this particular application, let's be real, you're going to want to have it set up like this, where you've just got your laptop and that connected on power, and then it's sending power and signal with the single Type-C into it. That's going to be absolutely perfect. And you've got a perfect dual monitor setup on the go. So we very, very much like this. It isn't a cheap product, however, for this convenience, you are going to look at about 3,500 Rand. So yes, you can get a lot more monitor for that. That's 27-inch IPS range, and even like low-end 2K VA range these days, we're seeing at 3,500 to 4,000 Rand. So it's not really focused on like its total like size and that sort of stuff. It's more focused on the experience delivery, and in that facet, AOC's knocked it out of the park. And genuinely, the IPS continues to be some of the best that I've ever tested. So we very much like this. They've done a flipping good job, and unfortunately, because I'm a bit of a cloth and these mouse pads are quite soft, I did find that when it was in the portrait mode, it's a little bit tilty. and someone came up behind me and gave me a fright that I wasn't expecting, and I bumped it off the table, and I drop tested this exact monitor. It hit the floor, and it still works absolutely perfectly. So I can attest to its robustness. I'm really sorry, AOC, please don't hit me. Anywho, that is all I have for you on the 16T3E. It's not the first time I've seen this kind of setup, but this is one of the better ones I've seen executed, especially if your intention is to use it in this landscape mode. The stand is very good. Its center of gravity is quite far before it will fall over, as you can see over there. So yeah, I think they've done an incredibly good job. The hinges in here feel good. The general frame and build quality is fantastic. You can take a knock. So if you are out and about and someone bumps your bag or something, I probably wouldn't worry about it. It fell off of this table at its highest point. This is electronically adjustable. It was probably about that high. I'm the 184 centimeters, just over 6 foot for reference. So I'm not exactly short. And yeah, so it fell like 1.5 meters down onto the ground. Luckily I got carpeting, but then it hit my plugs and yeah, now I feel terrible. Anyway, it's a great monitor. Regardless of my mistakes, I love what they're doing over here. You are paying a little bit of a premium for the mobility factor, but you're not getting it. There's no lack of value for money. Let me put it like that. That's how it makes me feel. The IPS and stuff is absolutely perfect. Anyway, that's all I've got for you on the 16T3E. If you have enjoyed this review, please hit us up with a like and subscribe, and I will see you on the flip side.